So back with the gang at Sell for 1% Realtors, and we're going to jump right into our house of the week. I did see our editor, Jesse Ray, came up with a little logo for this, so I thought it was kind of cute. Did you guys see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I'm a little jealous. I don't have my own little thing blinking.
For your interest of the week.
Yeah, I'm going to get pressed to do mine.
There you go. All right, Jay Marinsky, what do you got for us?
So house of the week isn't so much a house as it is a residential condo that will be coming onto the market here soon. This condo is coming on the market here soon for $650,000. And it is at 50 West Broad Street.
Oh, okay. So is that in the Lincoln Levesque Tower?
Well, the formerly known as Lincoln Levesque Tower, now just the Levesque Tower.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, they've done a whole thing. And actually, I got to meet one of the owners of that building here about 2 weeks ago. And so they're out of Colorado. So they seem to be good guys.
It has a super colorful history, which I am planning to get into here. I think that's the most interesting part about the Lincoln Levesque, or the Levesque Tower, as it's known now. But yeah, that was in about 2017. They really renovated it to accommodate residential living.
That's cool.
It was completed in 1927. So
crazy?
Yeah, it was the tallest building here in Columbus until 1974 at 555 feet and 5 inches.
So have you seen any old time pictures of the Columbus skyline in like the 1930?
I think so. We'll put it up here in the background so everybody.
There's only one building. And it's the Levesque Lincoln Tower.
Yeah. Yeah. So built in 1927, it opened up as the American Insurance Citadel.
There you go.
It was actually the 5th tallest building in the world at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. Designed with 600 hotel rooms and 2 wings, as well as an attached performance venue, the Palace Theater.
There you go. Beautiful view.
After American Insurance Union went bankrupt in the Great Depression, the tower was renamed the Lincoln Levesque Tower in 1946 and later the Levesque Tower in 1977. Though during that time, Great Depression and whatnot, it was known as the IOU Tower. So yeah, and to bring it back to your skyline talk, it was the Columbus's downtown was not really developed until the 60s.
Yeah.
And in the 60s, several other high-rise buildings were then constructed in the skyline. Regarding the Levesque Tower, it faced increased competitions for office vacancy. Over the course of its history, the tower changed hands several times before being sold to a group of real estate investors in 2011. And the current owners subsequently converted into a mixed-use development, including hotel, apartments, condominiums, offices, and a restaurant, which opened in 2017.
That's cool.
So, yeah, originally when the American Insurance Union built it, it went $800,000 over budget, and then that being in the late 1920s, and there not really being too much business here in Columbus, it was difficult to fill up that office space. And when you go over budget, heading into a depression known as the Great Depression, it's tough to pay that sort of thing off.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't until the 60s that you started seeing high-rise buildings being put up around Columbus. And in 1974, the Rhodes State Office Tower was completed, which then became the tallest building here in Columbus.
Actually, I think it's still the tallest building in Ohio.
Okay.
And it's the big square building, kind of looked like the old Twin Tower.
Yeah.
That's built downtown. And I think it's still the tallest building.
Okay. Very cool. And
Yeah.
then after it got knocked off its peg there in 1974, the owner at that time, Catherine Levesque, which it was, passed down to eventually, put about 18 million into renovations in the building, including HVAC services, electrical, plumbing, all that sort of stuff. Among law firms and private financial services, the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services, as well as the Ohio Department of Aging, was the main occupants in the building.
Okay.
And in 2003, those two, Ohio Department of Jobs and Services and Aging, both moved out, which hurt the owners financially a great deal. At that time, a Miami-based property corporation took over. It changed hands a few times, and then eventually it went into foreclosure with a $16.2 million note. And it had struggled with about a third of the building not being occupied. The vacancy was very high. And so going into foreclosure, I think somebody picked it up. Let me see what I have here in my notes. Purchased by Tower 10 LLC, a joint venture of Columbus real estate investors, including Bob Myers, Don Casto, and Michael Schiff, for $4 million. I don't know if you guys know any of those names.
Well, Bob Myers is the one that is out of Colorado, and his brother.
Okay.
And then
Well,
Casto's been here forever.
Any relation to Myers Automotive?
No.
It's interesting that you talk about when, the biggest tenant or one of the biggest tenants down in Levesque, the state of Ohio, they started moving into like the old Lazarus department store downtown.
Right.
And they moved over to Northland, that became very vacant. And I'm sure at that time, with those vacant buildings, the state got a heck of a lease to move out of the Lincoln Levesque.
Right.
Well, part of the problem with the Lincoln Levesque, because of when it was built, it's hard to renovate. And so, the offices, they're basically brick boxes. And in order to go in and do what these guys have done, blow walls out and things like that, you have to keep always the integrity of the structure in mind. And so it's a hard thing to redo, but sounds like they're making some headway.
Dave, and you remember our radio station in Marysville before we got the teletype machine. Every weekday I would go down to the Lincoln Levesque Tire because that's where UPI was, the news service, to get the teletype. Yeah. And the big thing is that day, were we going to see Catherine Levesque, who lived in the building?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just lots of fun. When you brought her name up, it just brought back all kinds of memories.
Well, then who was it John Frame that had the penthouse there for a number of years on WTVN radio? And he would broadcast from his bedroom, basically, his radio show.
That was another thing I found when looking a lot of stuff up, built in 1927 and then through the 60s and even through today. I mean, you're in the middle of downtown. You don't have a bunch of, other buildings or landscape or, mountains, whatever around. A lot of radio towers functioned out of the Levesque Tower.
Right.
Because you could get a lot more broadcast power from the top of that tower, from its apex. And so there was a lot of different radio stations that functioned out of there.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is because of the two rivers, the Scioto and the Olentangy, downtown Columbus actually sits at the bottom of a bowl. So a broadcast station has to get up as high as it possibly can to get out of that bowl. So the top of the Levesque was big. They built the super tower there, WBNS. You now have WSYX with their super tower a little south of 7071. But I remember, this tower on top of the Levesque Lincoln Tower, with the bright red beacon flashing when you drove through downtown. So that's cool stuff.
So kind of to get it back on track here, 1980s, Catherine Levesque put in $18 million. Wow. In 2003, the Ohio Department of Jobs and Aging moved out. which hurt, financially. It was in foreclosure for $16.2 million, at which point a third of it was empty. And then in 2011, Tower 10 LLC joint venture Columbus Real Estate Investors bought it for $4 million.
Wow.
By that point, the office building's vacancy rate was about 43%.
Wow.
And so Catherine Levesque had wanted to do a renovation to bring in residential property into, the tower. But her financial advisor said it was something in the figure of $18 million to do so, and they just didn't have the capital or liquidity to do it. So these partners moved in, planned a $22 million renovation project to fix cracked terracotta on the tower, convert office buildings to a hotel, residential structures, things like that. And in 2012, owners announced it would cost $26.7 million, including a $5 million tax credit from the state of Ohio.
Okay.
So that was completed in 2017. And now, it's designated as mixed use, with the floors 5 to 10 of the building converted into 150 room boutique hotel, Hotel Levesque under Marriott International's Autograph Collection brand. So that is a nice hotel to be in there. Floors 3, 4, and 11 through 18 were renovated as 160,000 square feet of office space, while the remaining 19 floors were converted into upscale residential units, a mix of 68 apartments and 12 condominiums, with 2 penthouse units on the top floors. And then the restaurant, The Keep, was opened by Illinois-based First Hospitality Group on the 2nd floor. So in recent years, the building's 3rd floor has held a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office. And so there is an ICE center there in the Levesque Tower on the 3rd floor.
And so a couple of years ago, I had a client look at a couple of the penthouses there at Levesque.
Wow.
I think I have pictures somewhere. I'll try to get those to Jesse to add in here. The view is just spectacular.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, just awesome.
So this one here is coming soon.
How much?
Residential condo for $650,000 on the 35th floor. So you'd be able to see a decent amount from there. And condo fees are $776 a month.
Okay. And how big is it?
It is a 1-story condo, 1,751 square feet.
That's pretty good size.
So that's a pretty good sized condo.
2 bedroom, 2 full baths, and a half bath. And a 2-car garage.
And does it have a view of Red, White, and Boone?
I'm sure it does. I'm not, I can't say that. I'm not sure if it does or not.
All right. Well, we'll have to do a little more research and see if the view is of downtown or if you're looking north towards, Short North and Clintonville area. But I'm
Call
sure
us
the
and we'll
views
take
are
a
beautiful.
look at it together.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm in.
All
I'll
right.
clear my schedule.
I'm in.
And then I can tell you all the history.
There you go. All right. Well, if you want to go take a look at this condo, when's it coming to the market? Does it say there?
I believe on the 21st.
Okay. So we're about a week away, 5 days away. And so if you want to go take a look, who should they call, Jamie?
Anyone, you know what? We all
They
eat
should-
here.
they should call
That's
you.
1%.
They should call you.
Oh,
We all
bless you.
eat here. I'm sorry. Hey, and it is active on the 18th. So coming up this weekend.
Okay.
Friday.
Yeah, if you want to be the first to go look at it, call Jay Marinsky. He'll get you in. What's your number?
614-493-8541.
There you go. Or
Thanks, James.
you can send an email to, we need to set that email up, jmarinsky@sellfor1%.com.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So, all right. Thank you. That was good. I enjoyed that. A lot of good history.
Yeah, that's good.
Us old people enjoy that stuff,
Quit calling me old.
There you go. Thanks, James.